Hi, welcome back to the show, everyone. This is my friend Cailana.
Hello.
Hi, Cailana Kadlec. She is you know what? I had to ask you what all your degrees were. Why don't you go ahead and say those again?
Right now I'm in applied behavior analysis. I work with autistic kids, but I have my bachelor's in psychology with a criminal justice and Spanish minor, and then I just got my master's in forensic psychology.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you work right now. Your job. What do you do with your job right now?
So I do one-on-one applied behavior analysis with autistic kids. So it's kind of hard to explain when you don't see it, but we work in-home one-on-one, and we just correct all their behaviors. So decreasing tantrums, but we're also teaching them how to label things. If they can't speak, we help them get communication devices.
When you say label things, what do you mean by that?
So teaching them how to show us what they want. So a lot of them don't know a lot of typical objects. So what we do is we have programs to teach receptive object labels or receptive subject labels, and we just teach it field of three, and you teach them what a cup is or what a fork is, and it's very hard to explain when you don't see it.
Yep. No, you're doing fine. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No, that's it's just basic motor functions too, right? Is it anything like that?
Yep.
So what's the biggest challenge at your job?
Patience. You need to have a lot of patience.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah, I've been bit by kids. I've been kicked, hit, spit on. It requires a lot of patience, and you can't show emotion.
Right.
Because they feed off of it. So you have to be able to keep the straightest face when you're in a behavior, redirect them to a downtime activity, which is a neutral activity. If they have a behavior plan, it could look anywhere to putting papers in a bag to redirect that behavior until they're calm, and then you go back to what caused the behavior.
Just something short and repetitive.
Yep.
Just keep their brain on something. Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense. So, okay. So when you say you're in home, you drive to everyone's individual home?
I do. So I've gone to Apple Valley from Fridley. I go to Woodbury, Minneapolis.
So how long are these distances? Most of my listeners are in California.
So they are an hour. They can be up to an hour in the morning or in the afternoon. Usually my drive times between clients are no more than 45 minutes.
Okay, that's not so bad.
It's not bad.
But do you have to take your own vehicle?
I do.
Do you get paid in gas?
I don't. That's a downside of my job. We don't get paid mileage. So it's a lot of wear and tear on my vehicle.
Seems unfair.
A little bit. It is.
I shouldn't be shitting on your business, but yeah. No.
I mean, I love my job, but...
Yeah, but everyone's got their little things. So what kind of schooling did you have to go through for this?
So the job actually fell in my lap after I finished my bachelor's degree. They required 2 years of experience, and I went in with no experience. So I grew up across the street from somebody. I've babysat their kids for a decade, and she happened to work there, and I wanted to use my psychology degree. Couldn't really find anything entry level because with psychology bachelor's, you have to go on for schooling. You can't really find any jobs.
So that's just your open basic entry level basically is what it is.
Yeah, and since she knew me, she kind of helped me get the job because she knew I worked well with kids and that I'd be a good fit.
Good.
So
that's cool. And do you have a building you're stationed out of, or do you just have to drive around everywhere?
We go to our office once a month.
Oh, so it's not bad.
Yeah, and I have a new promotion. It's a senior behavior therapist, so Congrats. I actually can go. Thank you. I can go there up to 2 times a week because I get 2 openings a week.
Okay.
But usually I spend that going to see other workers in the field and check in with them, see if they need help or clarification on programs. And
so how many people generally go out to a house at a time?
One.
One at a time?
Yep.
And are you one-on-one with the kid?
One-on-one, unless a treatment supervisor or a senior behavior therapist is overlapping. And then there's 2 people at the house.
Okay. So let's say something happens where a kid gets a little violent towards one of you. What happens then?
There's always a guardian in the home. So they have to have somebody 18 years or older in the home. There have been times where kids get violent, and we have CPI training, so just protection training for ourselves if we can put them in holds if we absolutely have to. If we do put them in a hold, we have a lot of paperwork to fill out.
Yep.
I have never had to use any of them at this job, back in Grand Forks, I actually worked at a psychiatric center, and we used a lot of holds. We used nets and all of that. But
how was that?
I hated that job. I think I stayed there for less than a year because
Really?
I didn't.
Where was this?
It was called the Stoddard Center.
Oh, yep. I know what you're talking about.
Yep. So what was my breaking point finally was we had the low stimulation area there, which it's barricaded doors. There's 2 rooms in there with a seclusion room, and you're one-on-one in there. Mm-hmm. And my breaking point was we had a patient in there, and that patient did not like me and made it very clear, and I made this aware of my higher-ups that day upon arrival, and they still decided to put me in there. Well, she kind of flipped and cornered me and got, like, inches from my face yelling at me, and it took probably 5 minutes for anybody to come in and kind of help me out.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
no
and
one's
then
even watching this?
No, there's cameras in there.
Well, yeah, but who's watching the cameras? Otherwise, they're just things.
Yeah.
No one's watching them. Who gives a shit about the camera?
Thankfully, there was actually, in that seclusion room, it was, like, connected to another one.
Okay.
So there was another girl on the other side with the geriatrics, and she heard what was going on and kind of peeped her head into the office and kind of let everybody know, hey, like...
There's a lot of something going on over there.
Yep. And I think I called in to work sick the next day because it was just...
That's too much.
Yeah, especially when you know that they don't like you and your higher-ups still decide to
isn't it great when managers feel they know the most? I will have you know, I'm in charge of a lot of things, which means I haven't quit yet, is all that means. It's really the guy who quits last, that's the manager. Like, come on. Yeah. Quit acting like you're this genius. All you do is you do more paperwork. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
This is a good decision. Clearly. Worked great.
Yeah, so needless to say, I think I quit probably a month or 2 later from that job. So
cool.
Yeah.
Did you call in sick all that month?
I did not. I just called in sick the next day and figured it out from there.
That'd be a lot. So what kind of school? So for schooling, how did you get into schooling for this? How did you get into all of this?
Well, originally my path I wanted to take is I wanted to be a pediatrician. So I wanted to be a doctor. And then I took psychology in high school, kind of learned about the forensic psychology scene. I'm super interested in criminal justice field. All of my friends know that I have like this weird, I guess you could call it an obsession with serial killers. I
know the feeling.
To study them, and kind of all my books I own are all about them.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Netflix show Don't Fuck with Cats?
No. What's it about?
This is probably the coolest. If you haven't watched it yet, you need to watch it because it's like the most new age serial killer hunting I've ever seen in my life. So like,
right.
There was a kid, and I remember when this happened back in like 2012. There was someone who was posting videos of him putting cats in a Ziploc or a Ziploc bag, and then putting a vacuum and sucking all the air out and killing them that way.
Fuck?
So they put that video up, and we were like, there was a big group going on, like, catch this motherfucker who's doing this. But it was a while, and it kind of died down, and then he posted a video. You know what? I'm not going to fucking do all this. I'm not explaining the whole thing, but it's crazy.
All right, I'll have to watch it.
It's crazy. You can't have a wheezy stunt. It's not for, like, the only forensics files on the weekends type people. It's a pretty...
Oh, no.
You gotta fucking... It's pretty intense.
All right.
They show the videos of what this guy's up to. So it's pretty intense.
And he hasn't been caught yet?
Oh, they caught him.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, but it's just like... It's like a looking back type history. Like, this is how we caught him. This is what happened. Blah, blah, blah. It's like a documentary on it. It's fucking... It's pretty crazy. Right. It's what happens when you see someone who's completely normal looking, and then they turn around and they're like just slaughtering kittens and shit. You're like, whoa.
Crazy thing is, like, studying forensic psychology, you would not believe, like, a normal serial killer is a middle-aged white male with a family.
Yeah, going to work.
It's crazy. Has a job.
I don't like that, dude. That scares me.
Not to be stereotypical, but that's...
Oh, right. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I've got my cats, and I'm like on the ground like, oh my god, no!
So
step on their tail accidentally, and it's like you put them on the throne for the whole day, because you're like, they don't know English, I can't apologize.
I know. Your cats are adorable.
Especially this one when she's sleeping. The other one right here, she doesn't do much sleeping.
No.
She has a whole lot of running around. Anyway, we'll get back to you now. Sorry, go back to serial killers, your interest in that.
Well, I mean, we were on the topic of how I kind of got to be where I am. So I took the class in high school and decided, my second choice when I go to college will be forensic psychology. It's super interesting. I mean, in that psychology class in high school, we had a human brain and we literally held it.
Isn't it crazy?
It was insane. It was literally the size of two hands put together.
Yep, and you're holding someone's whole life.
Yeah.
All their memories, everything they've ever done, holding it.
Yep.
It's a weird feeling. I've done that. It's weird.
Yeah. So I went off to UND and started taking the math and science classes and said, fuck this, because I could not understand my pre-calc teacher at all. He was from Saudi Arabia, had a super thick accent, would
Makes
stand
it so
in front
much
of...
harder just to fucking... Oh, man, you're paying out the ass and you don't even know what they're saying.
Yeah, and he would stand in front of his work. So I said, you know what, screw this. Like, to get into med school, you have to have a really good GPA. It's like, I had a decent GPA in high school. I mean, 3.5, and it was okay, but I was like, I'm not going to make it in pre-med.
Yeah, for med school is fucking tough.
Yeah, so I decided to change, and I was like, you know what, forensic science would be cool. I want to do the, blood splatter analysis and all of that, and still, continued to do that, and I said, nope, going back to my second choice, original second choice, and finished up with psychology. I hated every single one of the normal psychology classes you have to take. And
I was just talking about that, how my last college psychology professor had purple hair, and I was like, what in the fuck is this?
Who was it?
Jesus Christ, I don't remember her name. She had glasses, she looked like a mouse, had a purple stripe in her hair, and it was cut short to the can I talk to the manager style. It was unbelievable. I was like, this can never happen again.
Alright, I don't know who that would be.
I don't know who it was either.
Yeah.
Barely remember. Dude, I sat in the back and just
slept?
If I was there, yeah. Which I barely went because she put her whole PowerPoint slide on the internet and then read her PowerPoints to the class, and it's like, why am I here?
Right.
I can read.
Yeah. So.
Do you want something to drink, by the way?
I'm okay for right now.
I'm gonna grab something to drink.
Okay. You want me to keep going?
I'll grab you a Sprite.
Okay.
Because I guarantee it's gonna be that way. Yeah, you can. I mean, we can keep talking. This is so normal for the podcast. People are like, this is normal.
Okay.
This is just what I do. It's a whatever we want to do podcast.
All right, so once I went back to the psychology route, I decided, you have to have a certain amount of credits to graduate. Well, and then
how many do you have to graduate with? It's 136 or something ridiculous.
It was either 136 or 125.
It was a lot.
Yeah. And so then the psychology degree, you had to have a year of language. And I took Spanish all throughout high school, so I took the placement test. I tested out of the first year,
cool.
Finished up, and decided, you know what, I'll just go for a minor in it. Screw it, why not? So that way I don't have to take all these dumb elective courses. And then I decided to take some criminal justice courses. By the time, I think it was spring of 2016, that I decided to do a double minor, and then I graduated that fall.
A double minor?
A double minor. So the criminal justice minor and Spanish minor.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
are you still pretty fluent in Spanish?
I wouldn't say I'm fluent. I have 2 clients right now that actually speak Spanish. So
real Spanish, yeah.
Yep. The one family is from Ecuador, and I actually...
Damn, Latin America Spanish.
Yeah. So I communicate with them in my broken Spanish because I didn't speak it for 3 years pretty much after I graduated college, and now I'm using it again.
That's so fucking tough when that happens.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to pick it back up.
It's fun when it comes back, though, when you start, I haven't used it in forever, but, when you're at work and there's people who speak Spanish, it's just fucking easier just to ravel off some Spanish here or there.
Yeah. And it's easier to understand it when they're speaking than it is to speak it to them. Yep. Yeah. Because there's so many different tenses, there is in English, and you learn the book stuff, but they're speaking slang.
Plus, we mostly learn, Mexican Spanish. Not Spanish or Latin America Spanish, which are all different. I learned
mostly Spain.
Oh, did
Spanish.
You really?
Yes.
We learned Mexico Spanish.
In school, I learned, in high school, I learned the Mexican.
Oh, okay. Yep.
But then in college, most of my professors were from Spain.
That makes sense.
So.
Straight from the real. Yeah, it's like going to the UK for your English. Just the pure water.
Yep. It was pretty interesting.
With their U's and words like color.
Yep. And their I is yo. Hey yo.
Really?
Yeah. I would be like yo, as in Y-O.
In
Spanish.
Yeah. I thought you meant like over in the UK. I was like, when was this?
No,
okay.
I actually have a lot of friends from UK.
Really?
So,
I've only got like one friend that I know from the UK.
I have like 4 or 5. One's actually over there right now.
If you're listening, you're from the UK, hit me up. We can be cool with each other.
Yeah, so then I graduated early from UND, like a half a year early.
Nice, save some money.
Yep, and then I moved away, came back to the Twin Cities area, got a job, left all my friends at UND.
Didn't leave all your friends.
But I did lose touch with a lot of them, and I do regret that.
Yeah, that's called growing up.
Yeah.
And it's a two-way road. If they wanted to stay in contact with you, too, they could have definitely sent you a text here or there.
Yeah, I keep in contact with a lot, but it's very minimal. It's like...
Yeah, it's growing up. Everyone's got shit to do.
Yeah, like I didn't talk to you for what?
It's just everyone's got shit to do. Everyone's doing shit. That's what it is.
Busy. So, moved back here, started my job as the applied behavior analysis. Then I started coaching swimming that July.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yep. And then that July, I also went back to school for my master's and got that in a year and a half.
So you're doing all sorts of shit.
I am.
That's crazy.
I'm very busy. I work 3 jobs. Love it. I actually had a swim meet this morning and have one tomorrow morning.
How'd it go?
It went pretty good. So it's broken up by technically age group, and I have the 2 younger age groups.
Okay.
And I was the only coach for that age group out of our 3 pools to show up to the meet, so I had all of them.
Why did the other ones not show up?
One is very new, and they don't have all their certifications yet, because you have to be certified through USA Swimming.
So you can't even show up?
We are not allowed on deck. So I have this cool little wristband.
Oh.
Yeah. And all of my...
Safety reasons, or what's the...
Safety reasons, yep. So all of my certifications actually expire on Monday, and I have to go through and do them again.
Or what? You can't be on deck?
Correct.
God damn.
Yeah, so they last for 2 years.
Being a hockey coach is... See, like, that's what I like about coaching hockey. You go through the USA Hockey... See, I told you. Go through the USA Hockey coaching, and, like, that's... There you go, level 1. Got it. There you go. Level 2, there it is. But you have to get them renewed here and there. But, like, it's not where, like, oh, you can't be... Nope, get out of the fucking rink. Not a thing. No, you can be at the rink.
Yeah, no, swimming it is. I mean...
Because you can't drown playing hockey.
Right. Like, kids, when they're
slip
swimming...
and fall and stop breathing.
Yeah, they could hit their head on the wall when they're swimming backstroke, and, I mean, you can get a concussion from that. I've never seen anybody get knocked out from it. I mean...
But you can slip on the deck, too.
You can slip, and, I mean, those decks are slippery.
Yeah, what the fuck? Hey, people who make swimming pool decks, figure it the fuck out, man. It's been, like, 40 years of lawsuits of people just, whoop, Tom and Jerrying it on their back and just cracking skulls. Yeah. Fix your fucking... Our showers are perfectly fine not slipping.
Right.
Put that gritty shit on the bottom. Well, then we'd have people's feet. People's feet are people's feet. Just... It's going to be gross. We're all going to get warts on there if you go to the Kalahari Park.
I mean, everybody does anyway. That's why I wear shoes.
Yeah, it's just... you know what? Just don't... Fix that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know who's listening, but... If you're inventing swimming pools and you're listening, fix that motherfucking swimming pool. Or... You can fix that and make $1 million.
I could.
Make this mat. Make a rollout mat. It's going to be called...
That'd be a giant mat.
What can we call it? Yeah, big piece of silicone. Sell it for $2.50 a piece. What are we going to call it? Because we can import that from China for like 4 cents. They've got kids making that shit. We could... I'm trying to think of... What could we call it? We could call it like the contact... I don't know. We can call it something, but...
Sounds like you're better off doing it
than me. It's a shitload of money. It's a shitload of money.
I don't know if
we should make this. We'll find the investors. It would definitely work. Feel like if we go to parent-teacher conferences and just say 23% of kids swimming slip, fall, and crack their head, you'd have like 40 moms just, we need the anti-slip mat, and just rioting outside the PTA. Like you'd make guaranteed sales by bending their arms.
Yeah,
that's
kids
how the world works anyway.
Run on the deck though, and that's their fault.
Yeah, but it's not about whose fault it is. It's about making money off of these idiots. that is what it's about. I mean, that's no one's making yellow caution tape because it's about safety. It's because we're trying to make it. Dude, there's a bunch of cops over there. Don't go over there. It's a dumb place to be. All the cops
but people
swarming.
Are nosy.
Yeah, well then you're probably going to get shot.
That's true.
That's what you get for going into a crime scene. That just, that's woo, 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 everyone get the fuck on the ground. What's going on over here? Oh, Jesus. It's not that hard to stay away from that shit. Like, you know, there's so many safety things out there that don't need to be there. In my opinion, I don't know. Maybe I'm just shit talking. That could be it.
Half and half. Half and half.
So, have you ever had an issue with anyone getting hurt swimming?
Not really. I mean, the lane lines in the pool, if you kick one of those or you, like, are swimming and you hit your hand on that hurts like a bitch.
The fucking floaty things?
Yeah, the things that go from side to side.
With
yeah.
The
little circles.
Little barrels on it. Yep.
The lane lines.
That's the name? No one I don't think anyone knew what the name was before this.
Yeah,
you're really opening up a lot of people's minds here. Those are called lane lines. So next time we're at the Y and we're like, can we get these floaty things out of the water?
Yeah.
We're going to be like, can you get those lane lines out? And they're going to be like, oh, these guys are swimmers.
Right.
We can definitely get these out of here for the swimmers.
Yeah. No, I've never really seen anybody get truly hurt.
That's good.
So.
That's a good thing. Probably don't want that.
No.
Do you have, like, diving stuff at swimming contests, or is that, like, not?
High school. Okay. So I swam for 13 years, and I actually tried diving one year, going into my senior year of high school, and my coach basically said, no, you're going to be a swimmer. I was like, all right, that's fine. I learned a cool dive for our senior night, but...
How do you dive? Like, right, you cross your hands, right? No? Am I doing it wrong already?
Well, I mean, for normal... Like, if you're just doing a start off the block for, like, swimming,
yep.
You do what we call a streamline. So you put your hands on top of each other, and they go over your head.
Oh, so that you can slice on into the water?
Yeah, but if you're talking, like, diving off the board,
yep.
It depends. If you enter head first, because they have all these fancy names. It's like a 101D forward somersault, blah, 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 blah. And if you go head first, usually they try to go hands together. Otherwise, if they go feet first, they're supposed to point their toes. And that kind of creates the
so you always want your hands flat. You don't want them like this.
No, because that's what creates a splash.
Oh, yeah, you get docked for splashing.
You get docked for splashing. How
funny is that? You jump in the water. Did you splash?
Yeah.
Taking those fucking points away. You thought you could splash in the water, you bitch? No way. It's like that's like the most real don't splash in the pool rule I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's insane, but whatever. I have seen some pretty bad injuries from diving, though. Actually, there was one this year, yeah.
What happened?
So I was subbing on a Friday night, because I don't coach on Friday nights. I'm not willing to give those up.
Nice.
Over at one of our other pools, and the high school team was there before us, and the girl... hit her face on the diving board, I believe it was.
What?
Yeah.
How do you hit your face on the dive? Did you fall? Oh, slip?
Yeah, you can... I mean, they have the gritty stuff on it for traction, but, I mean, you don't want to jump super far away from the diving board. You want to stay semi-close, but not close enough to hit.
Diving board's always... I'm right now seeing myself as a kid jumping off the diving board. I only ever did it because my friends did it. I was so anxious to jump off that goddamn board.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, so she did a dive and hit her face. All I saw was them taking her out on one of the backboards. So that's one thing, like, for USA Swimming, we have to be certified in water safety, so we have to be able to take people of all sizes out on a backboard. Figure out how to get them to the side of the pool, get the backboard in, and pull them out. Well, then we had to call the EMTs. Well, I'm there trying to get all of these swimmers ready to get in the pool. Pulled them out of the pool area, went down in the hall, and just kind of hung out and got to know the kids since they weren't my group. And
hey, let's not focus on the neck broken situation.
Right. I mean, she was fine. She ended up getting up and walking away, but like her whole face was super bloody, and it was end of girls' high school season too. So that was kind of shitty.
Prom coming up, you're gonna look great.
Not prom, but because it was just this fall.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
so is homecoming coming up, gonna look like shit.
Yeah, I don't know whatever ended up happening to her. That would suck. But
homecoming and that shit in high school for girls is like the fucking, like, Victoria's Secret
I hated school dances.
I just hated school.
That too.
I was just not very good at it.
I was a try-hard.
I wasn't very good at school. I wasn't very good at doing what they wanted me to do. Like, you need to fill out this paper. Why? We already learned it.
Yeah.
Well, I want you to show me. No, this is stupid. I'm not doing this. This is dumb. No.
See, I was the complete opposite. I was definitely a try hard and a goody two shoe until I got to college.
I don't think I made it to more than half the high school days.
Damn.
Yeah.
That was like my brother.
Half.
My brother graduated a year late, and he only graduated because I did his homework for him.
Yeah, I graduated on time because I wanted to get the fuck out of there. That's for goddamn sure. Like, I definitely wanted to leave. I just really stuck to the bare minimum. My grades were fine. Like, I had decent grades. They were great. They were like 3 point whatever the fuck, like 8 or whatever. But just...
That's pretty high.
Yeah, but going to class and like... Okay, well,
class is dumb.
Right here is 2 times 2 is 4 because... Stop it. I don't want to hear
geometry. We had to learn geometry, and I almost failed that class. I've never failed a class in my life until that one.
Geometry is a little more difficult than algebra, that's for sure.
I don't mind algebra. Give me geometry and I'm out.
It's because, like, algebra, you use these systems in a linear fashion, where geometry, you have to apply systems in a multi-dimensional fashion.
Yep.
That's why it's so hard.
Not about that life. Hence why I didn't do the forensic science.
Well, I just didn't even finish college, so I just,
You did? I thought you did.
No, I didn't finish college.
You don't need it. I mean...
I'm doing this.
Right.
There's no degree for this.
You don't need a degree.
Making way more money doing this.
What I want to do, I had to go to college, which sucks.
I mean, kind of, but what you're doing also requires, like, knowledge. It's not like you're fucking just, I don't know, flipping burgers or doing something stupid, vacuuming carpets,
Yeah.
So, okay, what other plans do you have for your degrees?
So I'm actually trying to look for jobs right now in forensic psychology. Entry-level jobs for that are kind of widespread. I could be a probation officer, court liaison, a court reporter. I could do... police administration work.
No, you don't want to be a paper pusher.
You're worth more than that. Victim advocacy.
There you go. That'd be cool.
Yeah, so I haven't really found much in Minnesota, but I just opened up to, all over the U.S. and found one in Pennsylvania that's pretty cool. It's a forensic interviewer for children of abuse.
Oof.
So you have to have a bachelor's or a master's degree.
You interview children of abuse,
and then you have to be their advocate.
Would be crushed listening to stories. I don't know if I could do it just for that reason. It might be the most selfish thing I've ever said. Yeah. But just if I had to hear all day about kids getting beat up or raped or whatever the fuck's going on, I don't know if that would just tear me apart.
See,
I barely can see those videos of soldiers visiting their fucking kids in school without just So,
it would be hard, but the way I look at it is somebody has to do it.
You're doing good. Yeah, you're doing a good thing for
someone.
And
if you can ultimately make their life better by getting them out of that situation.
Yeah, you're right.
It'd be great.
I'm looking at it from a personal, selfish standpoint, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, for the longest time
thank
also...
God we have people like you who don't do that, because...
Yeah. But I also really wanted to work in the death penalty center down in Texas.
Holy shit. Why would you want to do that?
Because it'd be cool. I don't know.
What? What would be cool about that? Maybe this is... Okay, here's why I don't think that... I don't like the death penalty in the first place. I think it's a dumb law.
I don't agree with it. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's hit or miss because there are so many people that do get the death penalty and then they're found that they're innocent later.
The thing. That's what I'm talking about.
And that's what's wrong.
We have... But that's... If that's even one time... We pulled the Concorde after one crash, but we're putting people to death all the time legally, and it's this is okay.
But being the person in there as the psychologist or whatever I would be there, being the person to be able to talk to them, learn
to prevent it, things like that.
That would be cool. But then my ultimate goal, and I've always said this. I mean, Emily, and we lived together for 3 years, and she would always be like, "I don't understand." She knows my obsession with serial killers. I told her, I was like, I want to sit across the table from a Ted Bundy or Ed Gein.
Do you want to know who I've always wanted to sit across the table from? Son of Sam.
Really?
Yep, because he's full of shit, and I want to know. Because he went around talking about how the dog next door told me to do this, and it was a story he was telling to try to get the insanity ruled on him.
That's so hard to prove.
What's that?
Insanity.
He admitted to an FBI linguist guy that he was full of shit, that he was just trying to get it. But Yeah, I want to talk to him because he's very calculated. Like everyone else, the reason why Ted Bundy got away with it was because he traveled across the country and went on a jurisdiction.
And not even across the country. He just would travel from like Washington to Utah and Colorado, and
that's what I mean. Like, so this guy, Son of Sam, stayed in New York,
which was dumb.
Right, but like it was. If you haven't read much on him, you should read, because he's a much more fascinating case than people give him credit for.
I have an encyclopedia.
A very fascinating character.
I have an encyclopedia all on serial killers, so I'll go home and look him up tonight.
And he looks like Jonah Hill too.
All right.
He kind of looks like Jonah Hill.
I've always thought it'd be cool to like sit across from an Ed Gein, somebody who's a cannibalism.
That giant guy, right?
The cannibalist from Wisconsin. He's basically,
God damn it,
like, Silence of the Lambs is kind of based off him.
Damn it, that's right. I forgot, because of course every fucked up guy's from Wisconsin. That's how it fucking goes.
Because, like, I just wanna, and my mom...
I'm from Wisconsin. Dude, shut the fuck up. Yeah. I'm from Wisconsin, you fucks. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Dude, I have people in Wisconsin who tear me apart. Just because you're not from here doesn't mean you can shit on it, dude.
But you are from there,
I am from there, you fucking idiot. God damn it.
So, I mean, it'd be cool. I don't necessarily want to fix them. I mean, rehabilitation is great, but it doesn't always work.
Describe fix. How can you, like...
Rehabilitate. Right, so I shouldn't say fix.
Someone who's able to just walk up and just, like what Ed Gein did to his mom.
Right.
How do you fix that?
And the thing is, that's why I don't want to fix. A lot of people will say fix, and so I guess that's why I say it.
In general, like, I know you said you don't want to fix, but, like, other folks who say they do want to go out and fix this.
You can't.
It's like you're almost trying to like you know when a fucking screw is not going in, you strip it out and it just won't, like you're almost trying to like screw in a strip screw. It's just not gonna work.
Right.
Some screws are just got to get fucking nope. All right, this board sucks. We got to get a different board. Like some boards are just not good boards.
Yeah. So, and that's where like, as I'm trying to look for jobs, I don't want to be a therapist in a correctional facility. Like,
right.
I don't, and I shouldn't say like I don't care about helping you, because I do. That's ultimately a job of a psychologist, but I want to talk to you and research you and figure out why you think the way you think.
So would you say it's almost more that you're trying to protect people who are innocent currently instead of help people who have already committed crimes?
Yes, or I want to interview the people who have already committed the crimes and more so like write papers on them and understand them a little bit more.
Get the full understanding of what's going on.
Yeah.
So do you know how to go down that path right now? How to get towards that?
I'm trying. So John Douglas is an ex-FBI profiler.
Yep.
Has written multiple books. He's actually the one who wrote Mindhunter,
yep.
Obsession, Journey into Darkness. I have almost all of his books.
Nice.
The first one I ever read was Journey into Darkness, and he kind of wrote his path and how he got to be where he was, because I would love to be an FBI profiler.
That'd be dope.
That stuff doesn't work like you see on the TV, and that's where a lot of people, when they're going into this, they're like, oh, I want to be like Criminal Minds. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but that's not how it works. It works maybe 40% of the time. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't give a specific age. It's a range. Mm-hmm. So they could be anywhere from 20 to 30, or they could look like this, or they could look like this. Yeah. And you have to be more realistic.
We got a 35-year-old white male, blue eyes, blonde. Like, how do you know all that shit? Like, you don't know any of that. You've never even met the guy. What's his name?
Yeah.
Exactly. Just
Granted, Criminal Minds is my favorite show. I love it. Is
that the one with Reed?
Yes, right? Spencer Reed. Right? He's my favorite.
The reason I think he's so funny is because of that picture that went around the internet when he's holding the deck of cards.
Yeah.
You ever seen that? His senior pictures are him like with a deck of cards sprawled out. And it's so fucking funny. He's like got a turtleneck.
He's pretty cool. I like him. And I mean, he's pretty down to earth. Like, he wrote his own little children's story now and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dope. I didn't know that.
I can't remember what the name of it now is, but I can look it up later.
That's cool. That's fucking sweet.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to, like, my ultimate goal is FBI profiler, or just being able to interview. Like, be a person that goes in and interviews these guys. And Emily, her number one thing has always been, like, but what if you are studying these people and you get murdered? And I'm like, just know I died happy doing what I want to do. I mean,
died
you know
for
what?
A cause.
It's gonna suck, but
at the same time, the amount of times that It's not
that
gonna
it would
happen.
happen. It would
it's
never
not gonna happen.
If it did, I'd be
because
in shock.
a lot of the times in the TV shows, these guys walk in, take those goddamn cuffs off, my man. What do you? No, that's not what happens. They're fucking shackled. Their asses are sitting the fuck down. Yeah. They got a guard over their shoulder who's like 7 feet tall, big black dude. Hits the gym all day when he's not guarding this dude.
Right.
It's not gonna happen.
No.
Those TV shows do it. Like, did you see the new Mindhunter season?
No. So I tried to get into it. And I watched, like, the first episode, and it was back when I was in school and would try to watch it while I'm doing my papers, because I'd have a 10 to 15-page paper due every Wednesday when I was getting my master's, and I just...
Wait till you watch... If you watch this one,
finish it.
There's an episode on Charlie Manson, and you're just like, nah.
He's an interesting person.
He's very interesting, and he is, but the
fact they convicted him was very crazy, that they could convict him, because he never did anything himself.
Yeah, but... sort of. He did do some things himself.
He did.
It's just he didn't admit it. Yeah. There's a lot of other things like you can't just keep dripping acid into people's drinks. Like he would drip acid into those people's like shit and just get them all drugged up and shit. So like you're doping people. Yeah. You know, that's against the law.
Right.
So, you know, if anything, they got Al Capone on fucking tax charges. So if they want you gone, they'll get you gone.
Yeah.
Dude was dealing cocaine by the truckload.
I have a whole book on Al Capone also.
Really?
Yep.
So super into all this stuff.
Super. Like, Emily and Katie and I went to San Francisco for my golden birthday.
Yes. You told me you went to Alcatraz.
The whole purpose of this trip was my golden birthday. It was on a weekend. It started as me and Emily just being like, yeah, let's go somewhere because she gets free flights. And I was like, we were making a list and I was like, I really want to go to San Francisco. And she's like, okay. I'm like, but we're going to Alcatraz. The sole reason that I wanted to go there was to go to Alcatraz.
How was it?
Fucking amazing. So the whole time we were there, like...
How many times are you ever gonna... This prison, 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
Would recommend. They treated me so well at this prison, particularly.
So we, I bought the tickets for Alcatraz and everything, and I gave them options. There was the behind the scenes, and then there was just the normal nighttime tour. And then there's
nighttime tour at Alcatraz?
So it's a daytime tour. And then at 4 p.m. is when the nighttime tour starts. Or no, 6 p.m.?
Oh, I was going to say, 4 p.m. is bright as shit.
So we went out there at 4:50 because we did the behind the scenes. So I gave them the option. I was like, either the nighttime or the behind the scenes. And the behind the scenes was more expensive than the nighttime tour. And so that's what they chose. And I was like, fuck this. We're going for my birthday. I just bought the behind the scenes and didn't tell them. I was like, yep, you guys just owe me this. And just paid the extra. Because I'm like, you guys are already going out here for my birthday. And
that's nice.
The whole time we were there, I was like, guys, look, it's right there. Like, Alcatraz is right there.
You guys seeing that? Seeing that jail out there? It's pretty crazy.
Like, I was on cloud 9. And when we actually went there, they kept saying, like, what if we, like, because they'll cancel the tours if the waves are too bad out in the bay.
Oh, to get out there? You gotta get on a boat.
So they were like, well, what if it gets canceled? I'm like, don't fucking say that. Don't say it. And we literally were on the boat at the island. They couldn't dock. And I looked at them and was like, you guys jinxed it. Finally, they were able to dock, but Emily and Katie were like, what are you going to do if we can't dock? And I was like, I will jump my ass into this water and climb up.
I will make a scene. Okay, I want to tell you a funny story about last night about making a scene quick. We're going to come back to Alcatraz, but holy shit. So we're at the Star Wars movie, and...
Who's we?
Me, Nathan, Halpin, and Nathan's mom.
God, I miss Nathan and Halpin.
I'm sorry. It was a good time.
Emily's actually here, and I was going to see if we could get together with Halpin maybe at the same time or something.
We should all go to Topgolf again.
Emily's only here until, like, Christmas Day, so if we went, we would have to go tomorrow.
Okay, let's go tomorrow.
All right, I'll text her.
Text her. Halpin, I know you're listening to this, buddy. Let's go tomorrow, bud. He's a good guy. But anyway, yeah, Halpin, I just had him on. He was my last episode.
I know, and I haven't listened to his yet.
It was a good one. We're going to get his dad on here, too, because his dad's done some crazy shit. Dude, my grandpa will not come on my podcast.
Why?
Because he's an old geriatric and he doesn't want to be afraid. I'm saying that, but I guarantee you, like, my next episode, hi, this is my grandfather. But, like, my grandpa did some crazy, crazy, crazy shit.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, anyway, back to Nathan.
The Star
Wars, and there's people sitting in our seats, and Nathan's like, oh my god, dude, there's someone in our seats, and he's, like, so timid to, like, talk to people about confrontational shit. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just go talk to him, Nathan. Like, I'll go get it. And so he gave me his phone with our seat numbers on it, and I'm like, hey, dude, I think you guys are in our seats. We're in P14, 15, whatever. And he's like, no, like, look at our seats. We're also in them. We're like looking at our phones, and then the dude's like, oh, you guys, your movie was last night. Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, Nathan told us to go the wrong night, we're
What?
causing a fucking scene in the Star Wars movie. I'm in the middle of the theater standing up. The movie's on. Everyone's watching the film. Here's me with the phone. You guys are in our seats, man. You guys are in our seats. And they're not in our seats. They're in their seats.
So did you get to stay and watch the movie?
So we had to fucking leave. Go and Nathan explained to this guy, like, yeah, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I don't know what happened here. Like, he's trying to explain to this guy behind the desk. And they got us new seats in the current theater, so we missed the opening part of it, but it was fucking funny.
Oh,
at the end of the day, it's pretty funny.
I can totally picture Nathan doing that, too.
And you know my loudmouth ass, 'cause I just want to sit down and watch the goddamn movie, so I'm frustrated. I'm like, God, you guys are in our seats, dude. You guys got to know what fucking seats to be in. Like, you're talking like it's these guys' problem, and it's totally Nathan gave us the wrong night. Oh, fucking A.
Did he feel stupid afterwards?
No, we don't give a fuck about that, dude. It's just whatever. It's just, I was like, oh my God, of course. Like, there's people in front of us just laughing, because I'm like, Nathan, are you fucking kidding me? You just made me yell at the whole theater. Everyone's looking at me. And so, like, people were laughing. They thought it was funny, at least. No one was pissed off. But it was a good time.
It's so funny.
Oh, shit. Yeah, so anyway, Alcatraz.
Yeah, so we were trying to dock, and they couldn't dock. And
just the waves were too high?
The waves, it was pretty rough at that point. I mean, because it's...
How big is this boat?
It's a ferry. So, like a normal-sized ferry.
I'm from the Midwest where ferries don't really exist. But I know what you mean.
Okay.
A ferry is like a 20-seater boat, yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's
right?
pretty...
Was it the
bigger
double-seater?
Than 20 people.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's two levels, I think it was. It was pretty big. I mean, there wasn't many people on it. I think because what they did, because we were behind the scenes, they just sent us out, because what happened is we went out as, like, the daytime people are ending.
Okay.
So we got out there.
Is it a museum now? Like, is that kind of...
It's a conservancy.
So who runs it?
The National Park System, actually.
Okay, so they got park rangers out there doing stuff.
Yep, park rangers, and then part of the conservancy for Alcatraz.
I want to get a forestry guy or a park service guy on this podcast, because those guys do some crazy shit. You wouldn't have no idea.
So, I'll get to this in a little bit.
Okay.
But we finally dock, get off the boat, we meet with our little group, and our tour guides were great. It was Jamie and Jackson. They were amazing, and we're all just kind of chatting down at the bottom. They're like, okay, if anybody has any interesting facts about Alcatraz, like, when we get up to the top of the hill, like, we're going to stop and maybe, like, talk about it. And so this guy next to me, like, raises his hand, and he goes, yeah, Alcatraz was the hardest prison to escape from. I'm sitting there like, you fucking idiot. Like, it's a rock, of course.
Buddy.
Just like, and Emily and Kate are like, so, Cailana, and I raised my hand.
Is the sky blue, buddy, too? Like, is there air on this planet?
Yeah, so I had many facts. I mean, I know one of the last groups of the inmates off the island. I have his book. It was Darwin Kuhn. His inmate number was actually 1422, because I found his book at Half Price Books, and it's autographed, which was pretty cool. And then...
Wait, you have a book from a prisoner of Alcatraz?
Yeah.
What did he go to jail for?
Fuck, I don't know. I haven't finished reading his
like,
yet.
It wasn't like rape, was it?
No, a lot of the people actually that ended up on Alcatraz were like bank robberies from back in the day.
Okay. So
they were also inmates that tried to escape from other prisons. So they were considered high risk, so they got sent there.
Oh, so it's just high risk people.
Basically, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So,
So everyone, the weed dealers are out there.
Oh, yeah.
Those
Yep.
high level
people.
Weed.
Yeah, so,
Just kidding.
I finally raised my hand, and I give him, like, oh, Warden Johnson was the first warden of the prison.
I did know that, too.
You did?
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw that in a YouTube video once.
Yeah, so I gave him that, and I said, like, the years he was a warden from, and Jackson just kind of looked at me like, how do you know this?
Wasn't he a hard ass?
Yeah.
Wasn't he, like, a real hard ass?
Yeah, So the tour guide asked me how I knew it, and I told him, I was like, I have my master's in forensic psychology. I love all of this stuff. And then he started going on about this Warden Johnson, and he had this code of silence for the first 4 years that the prison was open, where inmates could not talk to a single person. If you talked to them, you got sent to solitary confinement. And so he started talking about this, and I go, oh, and I raised my hand, and I'm like, oh, shit, I shouldn't have done this. And the guy goes, oh, I'll let you talk. Like, so I kind of explained it all to everybody, and...
Hi, Jackson, I need you to go join the group, please. I need you to go join the group. I'll just take over here. Hi, so Warden Jackson was...
Yeah, right. So it was pretty interesting. We kind of moved on, and because we were behind the scenes, we got to go into the garden, which is gated off. You can only go in there if you're behind the scenes.
The garden?
Yeah, so they had...
do they grow food there?
So the officers that worked on the island, some of them and their families lived on the island.
What?
And they had their own, like, housing facility.
What?
So the, like,
I didn't know
wives...
any of this.
Yeah, the wives of the officers actually wanted, like, to start a garden. They started it. Well, then it got too big, and... So some of the inmates, that could be one of their work things, is to go work in the gardens eventually.
Okay.
And
get them outside.
As the years went on, yep. So we got to go see that. And then from there we went into the cell house, did all of that. We got to go down to it. Everybody calls it the dungeon. It's the lower cells of Alcatraz from back when it was
killed.
Where?
Isn't that where that dude got the shit beat out of him by the officers and got killed?
Probably. There's multiple stories.
There was some really overweight guy who was like,
I don't know if I know about that one.
He was mad about something in his cell, like he couldn't get something. I don't remember the full story, but they whooped his fucking ass to the point
I
where
wonder
he died.
if you're thinking of the one where there was a guy in the shoe. So not just solitary confinement, there was also 9 cells within the prison that were like double doored.
Yep.
So that was a different part. That was in cell block D.
Okay.
I'm talking about like the lower cells. Like there's below the actual cell house. There, back when it was a military prison, there's 4 cells on each side.
It was a military prison at first?
Yep. So it was a military prison before it was Alcatraz. Then it was Alcatraz, and then the Indians took it over for 19 months after that. Because it was actually Indian territory before the military took it over. There's a lot.
Okay, hold on. Let's back up. So Alcatraz started as a military installation. Mm-hmm. All right, so this is like the first Gitmo.
Yep.
Okay, and then the Native Americans Indians, or like India Indians?
No, like Native Americans.
They just raided the fucking island?
After Alcatraz. After Alcatraz closed down in 1960.
So, military installation, Alcatraz, Native Americans robbed that bitch.
Yeah, and there's actually like a bunch of spray paintings and stuff all throughout all throughout Alcatraz of the Indians being there.
Damn.
Yeah, I have pictures. I can pull them up.
But what were they doing there?
They were just trying to take back part of their land.
Just to, like, live on it? Mm-hmm. So what were they planning to do?
I don't honestly remember all the stories, but
there had to have been a plan. Like, they didn't just go out there and be like, all right, we're here. Cool. Like, there had to have been something. I would hope there's a plan. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, it was really interesting. And that was one thing I didn't know when I went there, was that...
So this place has got a shitload I didn't even know any of this.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So
basically, the whole time we were there, I left Emily and Katie in the dust. And I would be the first one, like, everywhere we went. And I could just hear them in the back, like, oh, there she goes.
Nope. It's like going to the fucking park as a kid, when it's something you really like.
Yeah.
So cell block D, you're all the way down there. What happens down there?
So this is the lower cells. It was just 4 cells on each side of the building.
I think I've seen this in COD once.
Yeah, and
what the fuck?
While we were down there, we couldn't touch the walls because it was lead paint. And they actually had us go back.
Touch the fucking walls.
Yeah, so we actually had to go back into those little cell areas, and they turned off all of the lights and told a story of a guy that was down there, and you could hold your hand up super close to your face and not even see it.
Yeah, dude, there are people, like, hunters know this very well, but, like, when it's so blackout that your vision is gone, like, you don't know scared. You're in the middle of the woods or in this prison or whatever the fuck, and, like, it's just so dark out, and you're like, alright, I guess I'll be a Zonar bat thing where I'll just start clicking away and start listening for trees. I don't know.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. Like, we gotta go experience that. And then in cell block D, in the shoe, they actually, because we were there for I want to say it was like an hour and a half between the daytime and nighttime tours, where it was just the behind the scenes tour on there or in there. So we were in the cell block and we could go into the shoe half at a time, and they shut us in there to give us the experience
of being in that double blocked.
Yep. Because
they locked you in there one at a time?
No, like half of the group at a time.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen enough movies of people getting thrown into those for a joke, and then they just leave and toss the key in the river. Like,
no, it was half at a time. So, okay, so here is...
I would make one of the staff
on the water tower there, some of the graffiti and stuff from when the Native Americans took it over. And the cool thing about that was they actually went back out there because they repainted the water tower. And so they lost a lot of what was written up there. And the Native Americans came back and said, well, this is part of history. How are you going to get that back up there? So they had a group of Native Americans come back out and repaint everything on the water tower. And one of the grandsons of the original group of people that took it over was one that went back and repainted it.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
So, okay, so Alcatraz is now... Okay, so it starts as a military installation. What do they do with it for the military? Like, just terrorist people, or, like, what do they put in there? Military
personnel. So, like, if they disobeyed or they tried to get...
court-martialed shit, they just throw them out on this fucking island? Son of a bitch.
Yeah. That's crazy. Just like there's military prisons now for people in the military that... Right. So, it was pretty cool.
It seems a little excessive.
Yeah, but going back to the park ranger thing, when we were there, I actually talked to our tour guides, because then we went up to the hospital area, which you had to stay on the rugs because there's asbestos up there, so you can't walk on...
Oh my god, this place is a walking fucking biohazard.
So I asked, I was like, how can I get a job here? And I have one of the business cards, so...
Did you apply?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's so fucking expensive to live out there that I just don't know if I can do it at this point in my life.
Yeah, it's really expensive, and no one knows.
I just found a job, though, actually out in San Francisco, where if I could find a job out there and then do... like tours at Alcatraz on the side or something, I could maybe make it work.
San Francisco is also just one of the most expensive places to live.
Yeah.
And for no reason.
Right.
Because last time I was in San Francisco...
It's just because of tourists.
Last time I was in San Francisco, I literally watched someone poop in the street. Like, with actual poop.
Downtown San Francisco is awful.
Took a real shit right on the street. Like, right in front of me. Like, is that guy taking a shit, Kev? And he's like, yeah, I think that guy's taking a shit. It's like, yep. Yep, he sure is.
I mean, I loved it. I would go back in a heartbeat.
No, definitely. It's a cool city. It is. It does a lot.
Downtown, though, absolutely hated it. We went there the first day we were there, and it smelled like pee. And we were going to go back down for my birthday. That was on Saturday. And we were like, fuck it. We're going to just stay in the wharf because that's where we stayed. And we just hung around there for the whole time.
It smells like you know when you go down an alley and then you got to go down into the back door area of the alley. It smells like that, but the whole city.
Yeah, yeah, and
so
everywhere
crazy.
you walk, and it was disgusting. But
so Alcatraz is now ran by the Park Service. So what do they do now as the Park Service? How do they hold on to all that shit? Like, how do they like contract it out to keep it up and running, or how do they keep it going?
By doing the tours, they make the money, and then. It sounds like each year they get donations also from people, and they've been able to open more and more of the areas, like reconstruct some of the areas. I was super bummed because usually the industrial building is open for the behind the scenes tours.
What's the industrial building? See, now I didn't even know anything else was there besides the prison. So like even the fact there was a
industrial building, well, it's all part of the prison. It's just different areas of the prison.
Right. All I thought was there was just the regular.
Yeah. Well, the industrial building is where the inmates would go and work. That's where almost all of the escape attempts happened, because the industrial building's really like on the north end of the island on the cliff.
Is that where those guys broke out?
The Anglin brothers?
Yep.
Yes.
That's dope.
Yeah, which they still have never been found. They're still technically missing.
Yeah, right. They're fucking eaten by sharks or whatever.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Those guys there's been like 1,000 attempts to redo what they did with like time.
There's an Alcatraz swim every year where you get boated out to the island and you have to swim back to the bay. Every single year there's an Alcatraz swim. I looked it up.
Who dies? Every year someone's got to die.
Nope. There's like a shit ton of boats out there and safety things. So as you're swimming, like, if you need to dip out, you hop on a boat. The youngest person I've ever heard of finishing it is a 13-year-old. I mean, you have to train extensively for this.
I'm stressed out. I'm stressed out because I saw the videos. I know how tough that water is.
Dude, if I would have known about this back when I was younger, I would have trained for it.
Fuck that. Fuck that. Those boats can barely top over those fucking things. These dudes... No.
Google it.
I have Googled it. I've seen the wake. I've seen what happened.
But Google the Alcatraz swim. It happens every single year.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you, it's real.
Fucking nuts. Alright, we'll watch this. See when you're like, well, I don't think I would need anything on the TV. So that happens.
Yeah, shut up. You think I'm lying.
Lindsay Hoshaw. You're looking good, girl.
God.
Whoever that was. Look at all these fucking idiots.
No, it would be so cool.
Oh my god, look at all these people. No.
Yeah.
No. No. They're all
See, look at all the boats and kayakers out there.
Alcatraz Shark Fest. We're calling it the Shark Fest organization. We're talking about swimming in the Shark Fest. What in the fuck? No. It's a good idea. Everyone just gets out and we all just swim across the ocean. It's called Shark Fest. This guy Larry's here. It's all going to be fine. There's kayaks. Everything's great.
It's okay. My biggest fear is sharks, but when I went to Hawaii, I did a cage dive.
Okay, biggest fear is sharks. I really want to jump in the water, train to swim with them for a while.
I am very glad I did the shark dive when I was in Hawaii.
Oh my god.
Do you believe me now?
Look at these fucking people. And they gotta go all the way over there.
Yeah. Okay, and I did ask about the sharks in the bay, and they said that some of it's a myth and some of it's not, and that depending on the time of the year, there are sharks in the water, but not all the time. Yeah, which I don't necessarily believe.
It's almost gotta be isn't it like a temperature thing too, as to why they...
Yeah.
Oh man, that person's gonna get ran into. He's just turning around looking at everyone. Oh my god! It's like 4 miles.
It's not that bad.
I can't even run 4 miles anymore.
I would swim a mile in a race.
You'd swim a mile in a race.
It's a 1650, 70 laps of a pool in a race.
Yeah, I think I would die. Actually, I'm pretty sure. What about the currents? Aren't there currents out here that would like drift you away and shit?
Well, hence why there's boats. So you don't get pulled away.
I don't know, man. I'm not seeing a boat on the screen.
There's boats.
Shark Fest, Alcatraz Swim. Who the fuck? You people in California need to get your shit together. What are you talking about?
Dude, that guy did it? How come I do it?
I don't care if that guy did it. There's a Shark Fest, Alcatraz Swim. Everyone's like, could I escape from prison if I ever get caught? That's kind of what this is. Girl, you're nuts. Oh my god.
46 minutes.
Oh my god.
Do you believe me now?
I believe you. These people are just fucking out of control. Like, life is so good for human beings that we're like, you know what?
Let's be dumb.
I'm gonna swim like 4 miles with the fucking sharks. Yeah, it's only in the water sometimes. What? If someone was like, getting that swimming pool over there and they're like,
I don't think it's 4 miles.
Like, once in a while, there's some piranhas we throw in. Sometimes. Not very often. It's just every once in a while. Be like, hopefully it's not this time. When do they show up? We don't have an exact date. It's just they could be in there. They might not be. Most times they're not, but they could be. Oh, right. Well, yeah, I'll go in that pool. No.
And the reason they say there's a lot of sharks there is because of Pier 39 with all the seals. The main food source of sharks. Yeah, that
makes sense. Well, let's move Pier 39 to Pier 47. Like, it's too close. We got to get that bitch out of here.
You're killing me.
Doesn't work that way.
No.
Get the fucking seals.
Oh, man.
A couple exits down. Get these guys to the next city over. Fuck. That's crazy. Okay, so what did you... I'm going to look up some inside videos, so if we can do like a walkthrough, then you can like point some shit out, because it's crazy.
Of Alcatraz?
Yeah.
Oh, I got all sorts of pictures on my phone.
Video of Alcatraz. There we go. Now we don't have to go.
No, you still have to go.
All right.
Oh, My number one complaint, though, is if you ever do the behind-the-scenes tour, I complained that we didn't have enough time. You're paying, like, up the price a little bit. Let us be out there all day because I didn't finish the audio tour.
This dude takes his cat everywhere with him.
Something you should do.
Yeah, right. Oh, she's ass could never, never go on a walk. She can barely go for a sleep without panting.
I remember when you tried to first take her for a walk.
Took her for a drag.
Yeah, it wasn't a walk. Dragged her down the hallway.
Come on.
National Park. So the whole island's national park now?
Yeah.
And that's the ferry? It's a pretty big fucking ferry.
Yeah.
Holy shit. What is that on the top? Is it an air?
I don't
air
know.
director?
I didn't pay attention.
An air circulator?
Oh, I don't want to watch you in line, dude. Jesus, these YouTubers always think that they're special for being on YouTube. Like, dude, get the fuck out of line. You're gonna show me buying tickets for the tour?
The fuck out of here.
That's the laundry room.
This is the laundry room. Oh!
Oh, is that the shower area? That looks like
look
the
at
shower
shitter.
area. Yeah, so that's where you stand in line to get your audio thing, and
Oh,
literally
we're
that
standing in
big
line.
area is the showers.
The whole thing here?
Yeah,
Ew. How many people got raped in that room?
probably a lot.
Lot. You want to hear some justice about
What?
rape? Some dude who raped a 4-year-old went to prison and got raped in prison.
Oh, that sucks.
That's good for him. Someone took a picture, like some direction. There's an investigation into the actions of this officer, but he took a picture of this guy like just with shit all over his pants and just beat the fuck after he got raped. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't rape a kid and get away with it. Period. Whether you go to jail or go on the doesn't matter. Fuck you. You can't get away with it.
No.
So yeah, it was a good picture to see. Like, this guy got what he deserved. Fuck you.
Right. So basically
What are
what
these
you're
guys?
going to see is just he's going to walk through and show you everything on the tour.
Look at that cell. Can you imagine being in there?
I have a picture sitting in a cell.
Those are so small. Look at that. Where do they sleep?
Some of them have beds made in them and some of them didn't. I wonder how this guy got away with doing this.
Got in trouble for weapons, got in trouble for bank robbery. This guy got in trouble for bank robbery and kidnapping. Yeah, well, they're probably all where they belong.
Right?
It's probably where they should be. away from me would be great.
Here's kind of a
Oh, dude, there's the vent that dude...
a representation of a cell.
Dude. This is what it's like when you put, like, a dog in their kennel for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's like, that's what it is.
That was in cell block, like, B, C, and D, I think.
What is this right here? That's
Oh, those are the good time cells. So those are bigger cells. When you had good, like...
That's a bigger cell? Mm-hmm.
So the good time cells, there were only a couple.
Dude, this place is
and that's
packed.
where the Englund brothers
That's where they
escaped from.
Made their
Yep.
move.
Yep.
We'll just cut off.
And then in here, if he shows you the floor, this is when some of the prisoners took over the prison for a little while, and they were locked in there. And I think it was somebody put a grenade in there to blow up. It's crazy. Like, you got to go there and listen to the audio tape.
There was this one riot that I saw where these prisoners like made shanks and were like fortifying doors, and like they were not because they got the kitchen, they got everything they need, and officers had to negotiate with them, and they like made negotiations to go back to Cuba and get the fuck out of there. Like, that's nuts. We negotiated with what? What did we just do here? What just happened? What do you think about that whole shit in Mexico with El Chapo's son getting arrested, and then the cartel came to get him with like their Humvees and their tanks, and the police were like, "You want him back? Yeah.
Okay, you can have him.
Yeah. There you go." Like,
Given so easy.
A cartel just made the state stand down. That is bad. Oh my God! Look at that with the made bed in it.
It's crazy.
So that's like where they would sit and...
Their little desk, their bathroom is in the back, and their bed's on the side.
But that desk, you couldn't even sit at that. Because there's things in the way for you to sit on.
Mine, you'd make it work. Except their table.
It's just a... Oh my lordy.
Yeah.
I would not like prison.
Right?
I would not have a good time. Good thing I'm not like a murderer or something. That would be bad.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
Not a good place. If I don't like prison, I probably shouldn't be a murderer. That's a good idea.
I mean, I've toured Oak Park Heights here, the Supermax prison.
Really?
Back when I interned with the Department of Corrections.
Did you walk past actual inmates, like, chilling in there?
Oh, yeah. Like, they took us into the mental health ward, and they literally said, like, don't make eye contact. And they took us down the solitary confinement, because they brought us into, like, cells that were empty, just to see, like, how big they were and everything. And, I mean, it was intense, because when you went into the mental health area, like, they're all yelling at you and... trying to get you to look at them, and you're specifically told, like, do not look at them.
Yep. Yeah, well, that's what they want that. They don't have contact with
they
the
want
outside
that,
world. So
yeah, they want the attention.
Yeah. Jesus, look at this place. So what we're looking at right here is the recreational yard. There's a bat, a glove. This is nuts. This is pretty crazy. Outside. Where was the housing unit compared to this? For, like, where all the employees lived?
That's right at the beginning of the island.
Okay, right at the front.
Yeah.
So when the riot happened on this island and they took over, like, what happened to those families? Did they have to get taken off? Or what happens to that type of situation?
You know, I don't honestly know what happened.
You're kind of in a fucked spot if you're on an island when they're rioting, you know? Mm-hmm.
I'm not
if you got kids
sure.
with you, too. Oh, is this the rec yard right here?
Yeah.
Oh, my... It's a slab of concrete.
Yup.
Can you imagine falling over, running for a baseball? Fuck, Steven! God damn it! I said don't fucking crack the ball. Look at this shit. Oh my god, this would be terrible. Nobody is getting rehabilitated here. I'll tell you what, this is a punishment. This is a punishment prison. This is not a rehab prison.
Yeah, and then right now they're in cell block or in D block, so solitary confinement.
This is solitary? Mm-hmm. I'd almost rather
So
be in solitary. These rooms
So
are
their
dope.
solitary confinement was really just one block of cells on the far end. So Birdman, I don't know if you ever heard of him. Birdman, look him up.
Oh, isn't he what? Yeah.
He was the prisoner that studied birds and all of this weird shit. I bought a book on him also. He was in D block up on the third level in the way back corner because he was the most dangerous on the island.
What did he do?
I don't remember. I want to say it was murder. I want to say. I don't know because I haven't read his book yet. Katie and Emily, I told them, I was like, you guys, you were supposed to hold me back from buying all this stuff. And they're like, I wasn't going to do that. I literally came home with 10 books.
Yeah. That happens. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Overall.
Oh, Robert Stroud. That's Birdman.
He was in. What does isolation do? Like, what is this just to punish you for? Oh, Scarface was there?
Yep.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Yep.
Who actually, his wife named him that. It's not even his nickname. His wife pushed for it more than anyone. Arthur Doc Barker. I don't know you. Some of these guys I don't know, to be honest with you. Who's this guy? Ellsworth Johnson? Narcotics? That's nothing. Just a drug dealer. So what? Mayor Mickey something?
So I want to say it was in 12.
Oh, are these those ones?
Yeah, that we got locked into. It was freaking cool.
Oh my god. No, thank you. So now they're locked in this fucking little ass.
He's in the daytime tour, so he's actually not. He just made his screen go blank while you hear the story in the background.
Hey, computer. Fuck off. We're watching a video. Huh. Mm-hmm. So, that'd be tough to escape from that one if they got two doors. Have you ever seen prisons over in, like, Sweden and stuff? They're like hotel rooms, dude. They're fucking, like...
No, I have
really
watched
nice
Russia's most... I don't know, some
Where
documentary.
they like bend you over and you fucking got your arms behind your back and shit.
No, it's just on the prisons in Russia. Like, those are intense.
Yeah, well, it's why Russia and America have some of the worst prison systems in the world, because we punish, we don't rehabilitate.
Yep.
Look at that. Who's gonna get better in there? Prison library looks nice. Got like 2 books in there, 3 books, couple torn out pages. You don't gotta read those ones anyway. So are those all cells in the back too? So like everything in here is basically cells, and there's little areas in between cells for other things. Is that basically what it is?
Yep.
Huh. So someone's always watching you from their cell. No matter what you do, someone's watching you. Is basically how it goes.
Basically, unless you're in cell block D, and then you can't see anybody.
It's crazy. This is pretty eye-opening. The inside of it. I would highly recommend this. That's cool. We'll keep that on the back. I'm still talking. Fuck it. So,
this is the dining room.
This is the dining room. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what are they talking about? Huh. This looks like a fucking parking ramp. Is what it looks like. Doesn't it? It looks like a parking ramp. It is not.
I mean, a little bit.
It is not a fucking cafeteria. No one's eating in there. Look at that. You fucking hit a pole.
And then above the dining room is the hospital. But you won't see this on his video.
Some dude's just dying in the... Ah! Eat your dinner, Steven. That guy is fine. You don't need to worry about that. There's kids out here. What the fuck is that kid doing?
Dude, this would
You're
be
right.
like...
Some kids do like that shit. I'm talking... Yeah, you know. I'm just... Oh, man. Kid was like 8 years old walking around with his little headset on. Yeah, Al Capone murdered 43 hookers. Okay, great. He lived in this hole. Okay. He was over here.
And it's done. He's walking back to the ferry.
Huh. I like that. That was cool. That was dope.
It'd be better if you went on your own.
Yeah, next time I go to California, maybe, but... Look at that kitty. That's a big kitty cat. Oh,
it's like 3 times the size of Oshi.
Girl, oh my goodness. Oh, look at that cat. Oh my god. Beautiful. Beautiful cat. Adorable.
Yeah, so that was
me some cats.
That was a pretty dope trip.
What
I
else
love
did you do
that.
for your birthday out there?
Whole lot of walking.
Nice.
We went to the Golden Gate Bridge.
Nice.
Literally walked 15 miles the first day we were there.
While you were in there, did you do any other like serial killer stuff? Like there was Golden State Killer. There's the
So no, but they just caught the Golden State Killer literally in 2018.
Yep.
I just listened to that podcast. It was crazy.
They caught
Joseph.
the Golden State Strangler in 2013, and that was from like the 70s.
Yeah.
Here's at the end of the day, if you're doing something and it's really fucked up, either if you're not going to get caught now, technology will catch up and they'll catch you later. So
And if
enjoy
you're
your
not
time.
dead by then,
Yeah. There was
you'll get caught.
that guy that escaped Nazi Germany and was living in America, and they found out, and he was like 97, and they were like, "Get his motherfucking ass out of here!" They fucking threw him on yeah, they literally got rid of him. 97 years old, he's like getting pulled out of his house in a stretcher, and they're like, "Fuck you, we don't care. You killed too many fucking people for us to give a fuck. Fuck you." His name was Ivan the Terrible. You can look him up.
Oh, yeah.
And he was taking shelter as a priest in Indiana, and so they got him the fuck out of there. Yeah, they were like, we don't care. We spent a long time and a lot of people to get rid of Nazis. We're not going to let you live here. I don't care if you're 77 or whatever the fuck, 97.
Right.
Yeah. That's cool. How did they catch him, this Golden State Killer?
It was...
You should do one of my homicide episodes with me sometime.
All right, I'm done.
That'd be cool.
So, I want to say, thinking back to the podcast, he basically just kept messing up. And his longtime girlfriend that he proposed to, she denied him.
Fucking guy.
Eventually realized that, who it was, and they got his DNA, and she helped catch him.
Yeah, because wasn't it a police officer? That's why he was getting away with it all?
I didn't think it was him.
Yep, law enforcement officer. Yep. Former police officer.
Was it Joseph? Maybe I'm thinking the Golden Gate Strangler.
Nope, you're thinking of the right guy. Golden State Killer. There.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a former police officer. Huh. Yeah, ex-cop.
I just remember his name being Joseph something.
It might be.
Oh, yeah. Joseph James.
D'Angelo.
Oh, D'Angelo. Whatever.
Joseph James D'Angelo. His middle name's James. You were right. Huh. Look at this old creepy fuckhead. This dude looks like he's a thumb. He looks like a thumb that got it stuck in a fucking garbage disposal, and he's got some chlamydia on his face. Look at this fucking idiot. Oh, don't you hate when you highlight over a video and, like, it's some other dude talking now? It's like, I'm not here to listen to you, alright?
Right.
I want to know. So how many kills did he do? Like 12, was it? I think he had 12 kills. I say kills like it's a fucking game. How many people did he kill, I should say?
12 sounds about right, and he just started out by being like a peeping Tom. And it progressed.
Dude, I'm not going to lie to you, that has always been one of my biggest fears. I don't like the idea of someone looking in my windows.
So I have 2 windows looking into my room, and I make sure my blinds are completely pulled down and pulled all the way up.
You said, like, this one's, if I'm not in here doing a podcast, I close it. I don't even like the idea of someone knowing what's in here.
No.
I don't like it.
The one thing I don't like about what I study is it, like, makes me super nervous to go meet anybody I've never met. Like,
yeah.
Nowadays, online dating is the biggest thing, and I have it, but I never go meet anybody. And if I do, I went one time recently. It was the worst date I'd ever been on.
Was it a Tinder date or was it a Bumble date?
Hinge date. Oh, wait, no.
I've never heard of Hinge.
Hinge. I think it was Hinge.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, I mean...
There's, like, so many fucking apps nowadays, dude.
So I went, and I literally told Katie and Emily where I was, like, what time I was going, what the name was, everything. I was like, I hate this. Why do I do this?
I had a friend back home who, she went on a date like that one time, and she told us where she was going. And some friends and I went and got fake mustaches and went and, like, sat down. And we were just sitting there with the cheesiest fake mustaches on, like, reading a paper. We were, like, 19, 20 years old. Like, it looks so stupid.
Yeah, it's just, like, you don't know who people are. And so it's, like, I don't want to go meet up with some random person I meet on this stupid dating app. So I usually don't go.
Well, then don't have the dating app. What are you doing with the fucking dating app?
I get them and I delete them, and then I get them and then I delete them.
Whatever.
And now I just have them and I don't even go on them.
Yeah, you don't need another person. Well, you're just really looking for a companion. No, what you're looking for is to fuck for like 40 minutes, and then you're going to get real tired of that person after like 3 months.
I'm too independent.
I'm very independent these days. Even like my last girlfriend would get annoyed because I just do my... She would get mad sometimes too that like I didn't want to do things like... You don't like tell me what, like she'll be like, what should I do? Should I do this or this? I'm like, literally do whatever the fuck you want.
Figure it out.
Whatever you want to do. I want you to go do what you feel what you want to do. And she was like, that's just so, you're not very dependent on anyone else. Yeah, I'm not.
You shouldn't be. You should never depend on anybody.
Most people are very codependent.
You are your own person.
Yeah, that's not a real thing these days. No one thinks of that. I mean, even with like political identity, everyone's just conforming to ideas, instead of who they want to be as themselves. Either way, chasing this guy would have been cool. Have you ever wanted to, like, hunt down a serial killer? Mm-hmm. You think that would be kind of scary?
Nope.
I think it would be scary.
Fuck it.
After you watch this new documentary, like, Don't Fuck with Cats, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess if you're, like, a cop or a law enforcement, maybe one thing, but it's basically a bunch of internet sleuths that went and caught this guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just have to figure out how to make all these steps to get there. I'm slowly in the process.
I just started flooding everyone that... It has. I don't even care. I used to send the president letters in the mail when I was trying to get in the academy. I got a couple letters back from him, but he never gave me a nomination. But I would send to everyone just, "Hey, this is me. I want your job." Well, you can't have my job. Okay, well, I have another job, but I'm coming for yours. I just want you to know.
Right.
I do that a lot. It's terrible.
It's hard. Like in FBI profiling, like it's a pretty large stretch because it's so new and so small. That it's like, if you're going to get into it, I mean, like, John Douglas, I don't think he got into it until he was late 30s, early 40s.
How many profilers are there right now?
I want to say 8.
Are there public names?
I don't think so.
Well, you can figure out where
and
they
I only
work.
know John Douglas because he's an ex-profiler.
I would send...
he's wrote books.
I would send 8 letters to that place, 1 to each person, and I would keep sending them once a month until they figure... Like... It's all about name recognition, too, so you just keep shoving your face in someone's name, or your name in someone's face, you'll be fine. Thunder, come on up here, baby. You come visit? My cat just staring at me. Hey, baby.
Yeah. But basically, I mean, forensic psych, getting that entry-level job and working your way up. And then probably getting licensed, which I'm still going for my PhD. A lot of people go for their PhD in this field. I just haven't decided if I want to go criminology route and study crimes or if I want to go forensic psychology route still and get licensed as a psychologist.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. What do you want to do? 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, say it.
Criminology.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, do it. That's what you want to do.
And that's what I've been leaning
Everyone
for.
does that. Well, what do I want to do? Just go fucking do it. You know what you want to do. Go do it.
I keep, like, it was forensic psychology for the longest time, but then I kept thinking about it. I'm like, but if I do that, it's going to be more of, like, counseling. And I want to do more of the, like, interviewing
it's only
and
more
studying your
if that's
crime.
where you go. Do what you want to do.
Yeah. So I want to study the crime more and, like, interview.
One of the worst things you can do is look at what someone else did for a route and determine that that's also your route.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Just go start sending letters to piss people off. I do it all the time. Especially here in Minneapolis. People, you're, like, literally too new to this area to be wanting all these nights. No. I'm in charge here now. Fuck you. Get out of the way. It's how I am. Get out of the fucking way.
I got more
shit
like
to do. If you're not with me, then get the fuck out of my face. I got shit to do. I got places to be. I'm not waiting on this. You're too new. Fuck you. But because your parents fucked before me, therefore, because you grew up here, fuck you. You're not funny.
Just because you grow up somewhere doesn't mean...
Dude, it's your life, and you got one of these. That's it. And you're going to fucking croak.
Yeah.
What are we, 20? I'm 25. So I'm a third of the way done with my life. 1/3. Because everyone lives to be about 76. It's the average age. Everyone thinks it's 100. No, it's not.
No.
People croak way before 100 all the time. It's not going to happen. You're not getting to 100. It's pretty rare. So,
yeah.
Especially with all the shit that we eat and drink all the time, we're dying in our 40s.
So true.
I'm just saying, like, dude, I'm 25. I'm not fucking... You're so young. You have time to wait. Fuck that. Go chase it. Fuck it. Fuck it. So what, you can get old and have your money later and then spend it all on cancer when you get that?
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. Go do what you want to do right now. Hey, baby. Hey, kitty cat. I was always waiting on having pets because I was like, I just want to have them. Just fuck it. Get 2 cats. Whatever.
I have 1.
Adorable.
For now.
What are you doing? I'm on the show right now. We're doing stuff.
She doesn't care.
It's okay. You can be on the show, too. She's a good cat. Everyone who doesn't like cats, I don't understand that. Hi.
Yeah.
She needs both hands. Okay. What's your cat again? You have a calico?
I do. It's a orange and white calico, and she is a bitch. She wants attention on her time. Like, she'll snuggle with me at night and in the morning. Other than that, fuck you, don't touch me. Her new thing is sleeping in the Christmas tree.
In the Christmas tree?
In the Christmas tree.
Climbs into it?
Yep.
That's hilarious.
On
is
the
it
branches.
Fake or real?
It's fake.
At least it's fake.
Yeah.
There's no squirrel.
Yeah, she's 2 years old.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, I adopted her a year ago on the 27th, I think.
Oh, boy. Adoptiversary coming up. What are you going to do for it?
I don't know.
I made Oshi a 5 years cake.
I don't know. My cat gets everything she wants, so she's pretty spoiled.
Thunder's getting her 3-year cake this year. Pretty soon. You're 3 years.
Yeah. My cat...
She's so pretty.
Maybe I'll get my cat a companion. Granted,
Dude,
I live with my mom.
it's the best thing I've ever done.
Well, I live with my mom still.
Dude, you would have if I didn't have boys.
I know. I
I'm
was
sorry
so
about
pissed.
that. So,
that's okay.
As you don't know, I had kittens in this house for a while. 2 kittens. And Cailana was going to get one of them if they were girls, and we thought they were girls. Like,
legit.
Hands down.
was...
If you would have put a gun to my head and said, what gender is this? I would have said female, 100%. Took it to the vet, and the vet's like, this is not a girl. I'm like, are you sure? Can you check one more time?
Look like a male.
He's like, well, I'm pretty sure it's not a girl. I'm like,
well, and it would have gone full circle.
How do you know?
Since Emily Oshie was dope. From there.
It would have been cool. I feel bad. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's
I
not
feel
your
bad
fault.
I couldn't control her gender. I can't do what hospitals are doing these days and just leave it blank and determine it 4 years down the road.
That's okay.
What do you want to be? Think I don't have a choice in this one.
Yeah. Right.
Cat, I can't even use my hands. She's laying on my arms.
That's okay. She's cute.
Oh, man. Okay.
I feel like we've gone all over the place.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Okay.
That's how these go.
Do you have any other questions about...
What I was going to ask was... Okay, so if someone else is into, like, serial killer stuff, obviously, because it's very few people that are, and they always feel like they're kind of the only one, and they're weird about it.
Totally. That's totally how I felt.
Where can they go to find others like this?
Good question. Well, I mean, that's why I loved going to Alcatraz. Like, everybody I talked to there that worked there, like, that's how they are. That's why they're there.
That's good.
So... I mean, it was definitely, I felt at home. I literally looked at Emily and Katie. I was like, see, I need to be friends, like, with them. Because they just think I'm weird. I mean, they still love me, but not everybody gets it. Like, they don't understand.
What you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, it's a weird thing to find fascinating.
Yep.
But at the same time, like, you have to understand why. Definitely the route to go if you're interested in that stuff and really want to study it. I would say go the forensic psychology route because that's how you would get into it, or go like a law enforcement route.
Okay. Law enforcement route. Mm-hmm. Like going to a tech school for law enforcement?
Yeah, like, because even what I'm learning is I've been talking to one of the prosecutors for Anoka County to try to get in, and some of the things like I've been bringing up that I want to do, she's like, well, it sounds like you need to go to academy. Because no matter what, she's like, some of the positions you still have to be a police officer.
Do you have to like work as a police officer for a while too?
Sounds like it. Depends. So like some of the stuff I want to do, like criminal
because it's just not for everyone. Like that's the thing. This is my point with police that I'm trying to make. It's not a job for everyone.
And sometimes, like, to me, like thinking a detective. Yeah, it's great. Police officers work their way up to detective, but sometimes it would be great to bring an outside person in
to investigate.
Rather than just having a police, because you get so corrupt in that field.
You can be,
and that's why I didn't want to do it.
Like I say all the time, it's a very hard job. Yeah. It's not an easy job. That's why it's not for everyone. Mm-hmm. That's why it can be so politicized and so corrupted so easily, because it's not made for everyone. You have to have a real strong moral compass. You have to be a real tough guy that likes to go to the gym. You have to be able to tackle motherfuckers or tase people. You have to have the ability to shoot somebody, but only in the right place, not all the time. Yep. It's just, there's so many things about that job, but then if you criticize it, it's like, oh, fucking cop hater, you fucking cop. Yeah. It's like, no, I'm not a cop hater. It's just one of those very weird things, because we're all paying for this service, so we want the service to be right. You know, we don't want it to be... We want it to be how we want it to be served. Yeah, so I'm trying to find a way around it because I don't necessarily care to be a police officer. I'm trying to find a way around it to go more in the court system. There you go. Like being an expert witness at some point would be great, and you can be an expert witness and not be a cop. There you go. Give it a rip. So fuck it. That's kind of the route I'm taking and trying to figure out, is going the opposite way of like forensic psychology, but I don't want to, if I'm going to work with the police department, let me be an outsider. Yep. And to do that, like, you do more of like the bitch work, like the police administration, or I had just applied for an overnight job at the Anoka County Medical Examiner's Office. That'd be cool. Doing like death reports and all of that kind of stuff, and kind of getting in that way. Actually, it was just rejected, which kind of sucked. I'm sorry, but it wasn't necessarily Anoka County. It wasn't necessarily like a extremely entry level job, and that's what I'm finding. I see. In Minnesota right now is there's not a lot of entry level. Just keep applying over and over and over again. And that's like, I'm applying to jobs that are entry level, jobs that aren't entry level, because you never know, and it's at least getting your name out there. I did this thing with when I was a kid. I got into this fight academy, but I was an alternate. I wasn't a primary to go, so I found out who the commander of this event was, and I sent her an email every single day asking her if a primary spot opened up. And I don't think there ever was one, but they just made a 21st spot for me because I just pissed her off to the point where she was like, fine, get on here, whatever. So even if it's not like, there's no positions open, okay, well, we're going to make me a position. Let's go ahead and figure this out. Right. That's how I roll. Yeah. I think everyone needs to roll that way. Like, dude, take care of yourself. Right. If it's what you want, get it. And the other thing with forensic psychology, too, is it's a very new field. Yeah, it is. Like, it was birthed in the 2000s. Like, it's new. There's not a lot of schooling opportunities for it, and that's what I was running into. And even still, like with PhDs, it's a lot of like counseling psychology or clinical psychology with a forensic emphasis. Yeah.
So that's like the downside to it also.
Cool.
But it'll just keep growing.
Well, Kay, thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for
I appreciate it, everyone. You can find Cailana on social medias. Where can we find you?
I am on Instagram and Facebook. I deleted my Twitter.
Good. Get off of Twitter.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I don't post very often anymore, though. Only when I go on trips.
Cool. So if you want to see your trips from the pictures from that, do you have those pictures up?
I do, from Alcatraz.
What's your handle?
I think it's just Cailana Kadlec.
Cailana Kadlec. Okay, everyone. Bye.
See you later.